What's up, guys? It's Dave, the Military Millionaire, here today, and today I'm going to talk to you about 7 things that I wish I'd known prior to filing my VA claim, my VA disability claim, and things that you should definitely do if you're getting close, like within a year of exiting the military. The first thing is that you need to document everything. Now, I know people say that all the time, but here's the difference. You need to document everything when it happens. So don't play the game, like a lot of service members play this game where they don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything. And the year before their EAS, they're like, this is broken, this hurts, this broken, this thing. And they try to document everything, myself included. The problem with that is that there are things that may have happened in the past that would have been really easy to prove and have documented then, and are not so easy to prove and have documented now. Prime example, 2010, driving through the desert in wonderful Afghanistan, boom, truck gets all covered in dust and, you know, loud explosion, all the things, right, IED. Fine. At that point in time in Afghanistan, the way everything worked is if you had a concussion, you were pulled off the road for 2 weeks. So nobody wants to do that. So it took us like 4 days to get back to where they do all the actual concussion tests. And by then, everybody in my truck had kind of pieced our stories together so we were all on the same page so that we could look like we didn't have concussions, even though we all obviously did. I definitely have some TBI side effects, like it's all there. Well, we get there, we make up our story, we say our thing, we're all cleared to go back on the road, everything's great, everything's good, until like, you know, 13 years later, 12 years later, whenever, or I guess 11 years later, that I'm in the process of EASing, and I'm trying to document some of the injuries from that. And like, to put in perspective, I had a hearing aid that was, you know, like a few years later given to me as I finally was honest on audiograms, which is from that. And the Marine Corps denied the hearing loss claim because they couldn't prove it's service connected. So I'm gonna have to go back and get a buddy letter, which is thing number 2, saying, hey, yes, David did in fact drive over an IED around this time frame from somebody who was in the truck with me, because there's no evidence that it happened, even though I have a combat action ribbon, which the certificate citation says that, but there's not like medical documentation that it happened, so they can't connect the two. So document everything when it actually happens. Don't hide it for years and then try to document it, and get buddy letters for things that may be hard to prove or you did wait on from someone who's just gonna write a letter that says, hey, this is what happened and this is the day and time it happened, so that you have somebody to verify your story. All right, thing number 3 is claim everything. So don't sell yourself short here, and try to think through, and I'm gonna tell you how to do this, but think through secondary items. So a good example of this is I have like lower back pain, right? I saw a chiropractor for a long time, also I believe tied to the IED. My disability claim is, what I got for it was lumbosacral strain or something, I don't know, right? I have borderline scoliosis at this point. One of the things that is a side effect of that I didn't even put 2 and 2 together is if I sit on the ground, like if I sit on a wood floor, within like 30 seconds to a minute, my feet will go numb, like start tingling, you know, circulation loss, nerve damage, whatever, right? Whatever it is. And that's apparently a very common thing related to that injury. But I didn't have any idea that it was related because I didn't do any research on that injury. And so had I gone and said, hey, this is the injury and here's some of the side effects, and by the way, I also have this thing happen and this, then it probably would have been like a 30, 40, 50% rating for that injury. But because it was just like, oh yeah, my back hurts and I've seen a chiropractor with nothing else mentioned, because I didn't claim all of the things associated with it, it's 10%. So we're working on that. All right, number 4, go to va.gov and actually read the process on how this works. So go in and just understand when to submit things, how to submit things, and just learn the process, because you're gonna need to know those timelines. You don't wanna miss things and mess stuff up. All right, Google 38 CFR Book C. Let me make sure I got that right. I'm gonna read my notes so I don't butcher this. So there's gonna be a link that I drop below to this, but if you can't find the link then Google the 38 Charlie Foxtrot Romeo book Charlie. So 38 CFR book C, which is the schedule for ratings and ratings disability. So read and review. So anything you think you're gonna claim, go in here, click on the item, read it, review it, and then go to your appointment. And what this is this tells you exactly what criteria need to be met for specific ratings for each incident or injury. So I'm not telling you to go in there and be like, oh wow, if I say these things, then my rating will be up and I'll claim this, this, and this. But what I'm telling you is, if you go in and you read that, you're probably gonna have a lot of, oh yeah, shit, I have that symptom and I didn't know that was related to this, or I wouldn't have mentioned that because I didn't think it was important. And so you're gonna wanna see those symptoms and those things so that you can clearly articulate. Again, had I done this, I would have known about lumbosacral equals leg tinglies, or I should probably get a buddy letter for the hearing loss, right? So these are things that you need to do, because if you understand the criteria, then you can accurately articulate exactly what's bothering you to get the accurate rating. Right, so number 6 is make sure you actually file everything before your EAS. So this is why you need to go to va.gov and actually read the guidelines and understand the process, because you need to make sure that you are able to knock all this out on time, because if you get it done prior to your EAS and meet those deadlines, you'll get your rating within a month of retirement or EAS. But if you don't, it could be 6 months, you know, it could be much longer down the road. Now you'll get back pay, but that's a pain in the ass, and you want that income to start pretty much right after you exit the military. So definitely make sure you meet your timelines. Number 7, and this is something that is pretty helpful, is go find your local VA office and look for VSOs, which is a veteran service. Actually, let me Google. I don't actually remember what VSO stands for. Oh no. Some of y'all are sleeping on how easy Google is to answer most of your questions. Yeah, so veteran service officer, I was right. This is somebody who will, as a free service, help coach you through all of the things. They'll walk you through what to file, how to file, the process, and everything. Now, they're not somebody who's going to try to get you 100 automatically, but they'll help you with the process and everything else. And I wish I'd talked to one sooner, because, you know, I went and talked to one recently, and there were a few things that he caught almost immediately that I probably should have claimed that I didn't even think about, right? Or diagnosis that were in my medical records that I didn't know were in my medical records that should have been brought up. And then the bonus, number 8, you know, there's guys out there who will help you with your rating. I've got a guy I'm working with right now named Trevor. I'll link to his info down below. You know, some of these guys, they want like a percentage or your first month's whatever they increase. He was a flat fee. It was a little bit expensive, but ultimately he's helped me a ton with filing. And so it's gonna pay for itself very quickly, because I'm gonna get the rating that I actually should get, which is an increase, which will help with a lot of stuff. And then the final thing I'm gonna just say on this is, don't go into this with the mentality of gotta get 100%, right? Just claim what you need to claim. Like, you absolutely should get what you deserve, but you don't need to game the system here, right? Like, just be honest, just play the game, you know, do the right thing. But yeah, understand that it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like, having the disability claim means that there are all these things wrong that hurt or that don't function the way they used to. So it's not all fun and games. It is what it is, but it's got a stigma for some reason. So just make sure you take care of yourself on the way out, and I'll see you on the other side. Make sure you like and subscribe if you got something out of the video.